Yo! What is up? Bro, gonna be late again? I told you. You guys better get used to it. It's gonna be... If I'm on time, know that I'm being held at gunpoint. Okay? If there's ever a time that I'm on time, know that something is going wrong. How are we doing, everybody? What's up, China Doll? What's up, Jakuja? What's up, Trey? Citizen Kip, Geto Suguru, the man, the myth, the legend himself. What's up, Damien? BR sent us? Hey! Broken Ronin, the homie. What a good guy. I appreciate Broken Ronin. My man. China Doll, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. Already starting the stream off strong. Thank you so much for the love and support. Here to get my gifted sub. Crimson Titan misses out again. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. What's up, Zoe? Love you too. What's up, Myers? JG, Ryan. Don't jiggle? Do it, jiggle? You want me to jiggle? What are you talking about? Today's Crimson's day, where we got fingers crossed for Crimson Titan. How am I doing? I'm doing well. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We're gonna chill for a little bit, give it 5-10 minutes. If anyone is not familiar, we will be going over the Jujutsu Kaisen official character guide. We've been through a decent amount of content so far. Today I want to focus on the the chapter commentary, just because I think that's honestly the most interesting part about it, and I love hearing what Gege has to say about his own series. I just love hearing Gege's thoughts. So I'm going to be going over all of that, and then we may potentially go over the world of Jujutsu Kaisen setting next stream, but we're going to try our best to get through all the chapter commentary today. I'm really enjoying this book. This book has a lot of really good information in it. We've learned that Rika is an actual psychopath. Rika deserves her special grade cursed spirit fate. She would have been a fucking disastrous person if she was left alive. Honestly. Let me stop right now. I'm just gonna say that, but yeah, there's a lot of really cool information in here. I'm always having a lot of fun learning. I'm not having fun when my music stops working, though. That's my least favorite part about it. We'll put the music on screen, because I know all y'all enjoy some of the music that be playing, and I'm always terrible at catching it. Truck-kun was the hero all along. Hey, listen, I didn't want to say it. Somebody had to, but I didn't want to be the one to break the news. What's up, Game Boy? Is the stream live? You can't hear me at all? It should be. I think maybe you might need to check your computer. Is it safe to assume Mai and Momo had a relationship? Momo always glazed Mai, and when Mai died, Maki specifically took her body to Momo, of all people, to bury instead of doing it herself. I think that's a little bit of a stretch. I mean, I'm not one to get mad at shippers. Feel free to ship whoever you want, as long as it's not freaking weird. You know what I'm talking about. But no, yeah, I mean, if you want to do that, you want to say that, that's fine. But I assume it's just because they were really good friends. You know what I mean? Like, they were just like really, really good friends. That's the same way I would assume I would personally interpret Gojo and Geto. I know plenty of people like to have their own ship of that, which again is fine. It doesn't bother me. Do whatever you want. But I just think it's just a solid bromance. Trust me, I've had plenty of really, really good friends in my life that there has been plenty of dramatic moments between. It doesn't mean that we were loving on each other. It just means that we were good friends, man. Shit happens. Shit goes on, you know? Sometimes friendship runs deep. And I feel like people don't understand that. I feel like people don't understand, especially at that age that a lot of the characters are at, right? Like, I mean, like, if we're talking, like, my age, 28, 29, yeah, you know what I mean? Then that's a little crazy. I don't really have that of a deep relationship with my friends at that point. But for 16, 17 character, 16, 17-year-olds, your friends are your life, you know? Your friends are literally your life when you're that age. So, like, yeah, it doesn't surprise me that, like, the one person of all people Mai would be brought to is probably her best friend. Because, I mean, not for nothing, Maki did just kill all of their family. So I think she just might have went down the line. Oh, NJW, relax. The Panda Gaku Kanji ship is approved. You know what? Honestly, that might not be the one that I have a problem with. If ship No Op and Broken Ronin, you might need to get his permission on that. This is gonna be like the South Park episode where they they ship Craig and Tweak, and they're like, "Why did they make us?" I'm done. Did I like the latest chapter? Yeah, I really, really did enjoy the latest chapter. I thought it was decent. I wasn't like, I'm not like, it's not like my favorite chapter. Like, I don't think it's like a 10 out of 10, but I enjoyed it. I'm interested to see where Gege takes the story, as always. I'll always be interested to see where Gege takes the story, because he is, he just does it regardless of whatever people have to say. I'm telling you right now. Gege is, you know, makes waves. He moves motion. He does indeed make stuff happen. A false memory entered Noab's brain that never happened. Yes, someone needs to. Tiberius, who am I saying? Someone. I know you'll be able to do it. Just you and me as Todo and Yuji. Chanadol, thank you for the 5 gifted. I appreciate that again. And Crimson Titan does not. I don't know. I don't know what it is. We thought we cracked the code, but maybe not. Let me check Nightbot. It's been a minute because Nightbot has a has a list of the top chatters. I haven't checked Nightbot in a hot minute. Does this show any information that I shouldn't be showing? I think we're okay. Yeah, I think we're okay. All right. All right. Now you guys are actually put on a list here. All right. Top chatter since May 25th is Mario Busters. Let's go. Everyone clap hands. Crazy Crimson Titan, you are on here. So it's wild. Legend Guy had the theory that it was like how often you're on stream and how often you chat and how big of a part of the community you are. But this would disprove him, because you are on here. You are literally number 8. So if we got 10 gifted members, if it was going by ranking of chatters, you would have been on the list. So you're right, it is rigged. I'm sorry to say. Hey, Tiberius, thank you for the 5 gifted members. Chanadol, yeah, you are on here. You're right here. It might be covering you up because I have the alert box right there. Hold on. Let me move it. It's Mario Busters 1, RM is 2, Tiberius is 3, JG 4, Ooh 5, Loud Gaming 6, Chanadol 7, Crimson Titan 8, Jesse 9, and Music 10. It actually goes deeper than that. It goes 11, 20... It goes all the way to 25, actually. So just know, if you guys don't think you're being compared to each other, you are. Against your will or not. I'm just kidding. I mean, I'm not kidding. This is the proof in the pudding. But I didn't design this algorithm. But the algorithm is tracking you. But thank you, everyone, for the gifted subs. Crimson Titan, you might want to make sure you might want to make sure that you have the setting on that you can receive gifted subs. I think you have to go into your YouTube channel and like enable getting gifted subs. You did? Oh, okay, then I don't know what to tell you. It's just unfortunate then. Does that make Mario Buster Sukuna? Maybe so. It might. It might. Roll the dice for Tiberius. Oof. Thank you for the gifted membership. I sincerely appreciate it. I sincerely appreciate all the support. Thank you, thank you. Hey, did you watch Ninjaristics new Gojo vs. Sukuna? Will I get a hit if I watch that? That was sincerely absolute peak. I might get copyrighted for the music if I play it. Which, you know what? That's fine. I don't know if he probably has a license for it. But yeah, everyone should definitely, if you haven't already, go check that out. That thing was absolutely peak. Yeah, this was absolutely peak. This was like one of the greatest things that I've seen of all time. If you haven't watched this, go check this out. I probably can't play it because of the music, but I'll show a little bit of it without the music. Like, Ninjaristic Ninja is the best in the game who does it. Ain't no one does it like him. That Sukuna shot, though. Ain't no one does it like this guy. I was there, man. I'm like in Gojo vs. Sukuna right now. This is like I've seen so many animations of this fight, but like this is like the best I've seen. Might as well be watching the anime. That domain expansion where Gojo's like getting like cut up by the malevolent shrine was like peak. My only complaint, it's not longer. That's literally my only complaint. It was so good. At this point, I want bro to take my wedding footage and make an MMV out of that. Hey, man, I'm sure he would do it if you paid him enough. This really captures the scale of Gojo vs. Sukuna. Like, they are just demolishing this city. Really, truly the greatest. This is our Jujutsu Kaisen right here. This was the greatest sorcerer battle of all time. Channel name is Ninjaristic Ninja, everybody. Everyone go check him out. Bro makes peak manga animations. Peak manga animations. All right. Let's get into it, guys. Let's get into the Databook. It's time. Everyone who's everyone is here. That's all that matters. How do I think Mappa will do it? I have no idea, but all I know is it made me very excited to see the full animated Gojo vs. Sukuna. I don't care what anyone says. the greatest sorcerer battle in history. Except, you know, I do prefer Yuji versus Mahito for thematic purposes, but that's just me. What Databook is it? What is it called? And where can I buy it legit? Excuse me. So it is the Jujutsu Kaisen official character guide. Here, hold on. Let's full screen it now. So it is the Jujutsu Kaisen official character guide. You can really buy it. I think you could buy it on Amazon. You could buy it from a bookstore. I bought mine from my local bookstore. You could buy it from like Barnes and Nobles, BAM. Think they'll do the movie thing like Demon Slayer? They could. I think I mean that'd be a great way to capitalize and make a lot of money. I mean they could realistically make Gojo versus Sukuna like it's like a 3-4 episode fight, but also at the same time that also condenses perfectly into a movie, and I don't think you'd really have to cut out much either. I mean, I would enjoy watching Gojo versus Sukuna in IMAX. That's all I'm saying. Still have not been able to find this at the store. That's so crazy. Yeah, you can you want to buy it in a way to support the original. I mean, I'm sure if you buy it from any actual retailer, a number of the profits are going to go to the original source material. Like if you buy it from Amazon, or you buy it from like a bookstore, maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. But like Jujutsu Kaisen official character guide book by Gege Akutami. Multiple, you buy it from Walmart. You buy it from Amazon. You can buy it from Crunchyroll specifically. You can buy it specifically from Viz if you want to buy it straight, you know, from them. It looks like they offer you stores that you can buy it from. Oh, I'm not showing that. Hold on. You can get it from Viz. All that good stuff. And they give you multiple stores that you can buy it from. I bought it from Books A Million, the GOAT. That's where I get all my shit from. All right. A movie is usually an hour 30, while 3 episodes, including opening ending, is only an hour 3 minutes. I mean, 1, they can stretch it if they really want to, and 2, I'm not mad at an hour and 3 minute movie. I mean, don't stretch it if you don't need to. I finally have it over my bookstore, thank God. Yes, they're slowly filtering out. They didn't come out too long ago, but I saw mine filtering around my local bookstore like maybe a month ago. When is that Chainsaw Man movie coming out, man? Anyway, let's get into it, guys. So this is a look back on Jujutsu Kaisen from Volume 0 to Volume 8, Chapter 64, with Akutami Sensei's comments. His comments compiled from the Goodwill art exhibit are also included. So this starts all the way back from Volume 0, which honestly is what made me want to do this stream in the first place. I was reading some of these comments that Gege had about this, and it's like, wow, like this is crazy. Yeah, the data book is a little outdated, but basically what I'm imagining they're going to come out with the second half of this when the series is actually over. Because this does cover realistically up to Shibuya. Content-wise, it's just the chapter commentary only goes up to 64, the first season, unfortunately. So I'm sure we'll get the rest of the chapter commentary, possibly if we're lucky, in the next side of the data book. Yeah, we definitely need that new data book soon, Greg. Character guidebook, yes, official character guide. So, yeah. Volume 0, Chapter 1, The Cursed Child. At the time, Akutami was extremely jaded, and the motivation that Hinomaru Sumo and My Hero Academia restored had long since disappeared. In retrospect, most of the reason was because of my own lack of skill. but thinking about it in retrospect causes my personal criticisms toward my first editor, Yamanaka, to bubble up to the surface. So, let's just move on. I basically said to myself, I'll do what I want, and if it fails, I'll hang it all up. So in a somewhat desperate attempt, I drew up the storyboards for a horror manga, which ended up being the prototype for the very first chapter of Jujutsu Kaisen. Okotsu and Rika's backstories would have probably remained the same, but the story would have been based on Okotsu going around different paranormal spots in search of a vengeful spirit that could defeat Rika. Since Rika, the psychopath, had been trying to kill Okotsu's blood relatives, mainly his sister, out of jealousy. Told you that sister niceness was fraudulent. There would have been a secret government agency using humans like Okotsu to exercise each spot to maintain public order, and the people there would have taken Okotsu on a journey to eliminate Rika. Maki would have been the one dispatched from the secret agency. Even now, I still kinda like this plot a lot better. I felt like the story would have moved at a brisker pace and wrapped up in a single chapter. Reading that is what made me want to do this stream. I'll be completely honest with you. I love the way that Gege hates Jujutsu Kaisen so fucking much. It's one of the funniest things about that, about that freaking author to me. He's like, yeah, you know what? Honestly, that first idea was probably better than what I wrote. He's so funny. He's the biggest hater of his own shit. It's just so funny. Oh, there's more from just the first chapter. Yamanaka-san, Gege's current first editor at the time, called me on the phone and told me I read the storyboard. It was entertaining. At the time, Akutami was no longer pure and naive, so this little bit of candy dangled in front of my face wasn't enough to budge my jaded emotions. It's entertaining, but you see, I was fed up with the way he spoke with a build just to let you down. Like you're playing pachinko and you get all the way up to the anime cutscene before the payout, loaded with chance stars, just to get that damn green, good but not good enough for a jackpot screen transition. But now I'm able to understand that he was just trying his best to not demotivate me completely, since I was an unknown newcomer. I'm really sorry about that. To summarize my first editor's opinions, he said it was entertaining, but the plot was bland, gloomy, and other stuff like that. That's when he approached me about making it a school setting instead. Honestly, I thought, at the time, making Akutami draw a story set in school? Your taste sucks. But with my aforementioned desperation and hope in myself, I said, well, if this doesn't really work out, we're done for. So I started revising the storyboard. It's just seeing how we got Jujutsu Kaisen, like this is literally how we got peak shonen. This is literally how we got peak shonen. Like, it blows my mind every day that, like, this is literally like Gege's just fuck it, whatever. So technically he wasn't really trying. This is what I mean. Like, isn't this insane? And that's why JJK doesn't last long in the school setting. Good point. That's a very good point. He hates how dope of a series he created. Gege's biggest Jujutsu Kaisen op. You wonder why he baits you guys on Gojo revivals. He's like, yeah, fuck these guys. He's Akira Toriyama in his Boo arc fucking fully realized, but for an entire manga. Bro casually made the most popular modern shonen series. I say that all the time. At this point, I had the storyboard for the first chapter of Volume 0 done, and was asked if I would pass it along to the committee meeting for monthly serialization in all 4 issues of Jump Giga, a special issue. I really have to apologize. I was far too cheeky and said something like, who reads the series in special issues? Aside from cynical middle schoolers who want to become manga artists themselves, the main magazine is better. My logic at the time was that the special issues weren't included for digital Jump subscribers. They weren't, right? However, I remembered Yumiki Sensei Ganada Shika, Ganada style, never heard of that, which ran in the special issue before Jujutsu, being really good actually. I figured that if they can put out manga like that, then maybe I could give it a try too. So I made the decision to submit my storyboard to the special issue committee for review. I'm glad that I made the decision, but Yamanaka picked the storyboard I submitted apart. Could we get rid of Rika? I'm thinking maybe the plot would be easier to follow if we made her into someone everyone knows, like Oda Nobunaga or something. And when he said that, I snapped. I mentally snapped. Honestly speaking, I'm not trying to criticize editors here. That'd be like blaming others for one person's lame idea. All of this is criticism toward my first editor, Yamanaka, and has nothing to do with Jump editorial as a whole. So anyway, Yamanaka called me with the meeting results and said they accepted it. They gave chapter 1 a color page in front of the book. Oh yeah, you see that? Now you'll start doing what I say from now on, won't you? Also, they've transferred me. I'll be your editor until chapter 1 is proofed. So when is chapter 1 due? Yamanaka's transfer was set. Chapter 1 was finished at the expense of one man's noble sacrifice. Gege literally got this man fired, bro. Gege literally got this man fucking reassigned. He said, all right, bet. He said, you don't like my storyboard? Well, you can go to a different department. Hey, fuck it. I respect it. They looked at him different. He said, no, I'm sending in my fucking storyboard that I wrote. I don't care what you say. And then the fucking people above were like, the editor said he didn't like this? You go enjoy the rest of your day. Send him in. Hey, Yamanaka. Go call Yamanaka. Come in here. Come in after Gege. Did he say anything about that random episode of UG School Crush? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I think it goes all the way up to this. So that was just the chapter commentary for Volume 0, Chapter 1. He's got chapter commentary for literally every chapter, guys. Like, that's why I thought this was so interesting to go through. Literally, he's got this for every chapter up to 64. What's up, Piggy? What's up, Molly? Yeah, go ahead and clock out for me. Oh my god. It stops at SO versus Kachizu, though. Yeah, unfortunately. Dang. Okay, so we don't get that then. Oh well. Hopefully we get booked. Anyway, so let's go to chapter 2. I'm a fan of Evangelion, or should I say, director Hideaki Anno. Akutami has a super cute habit where they tear up when they see footage of director Hayao Miyazaki and director Anno talking next to one another. The interrogation scene at the start is a knockoff of Seal from Evangelion. Seal with paper sliding doors. So the start of what's that? So the interrogation scene. So that's when they're all talking to Gojo and the higher ups. That's the very scene when chapter 2 of Volume 0 starts and they're all pressuring Gojo and they're like, you could have let Rika out, blah 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 blah, like she could have destroyed an entire town. What's wrong with you? I'm pretty sure, right? Yeah, we're talking about chapter 2, so I'm pretty sure that's that. The higher up room. I personally never had a period of my life where I was mentally and physically worked to my limits in school sports clubs with a hardcore seniority system, and that's come to give me a bit of a complex. I'm not advocating for systems like that, mind you. That is why I always prefer to depict my manga characters having a hard time. In other words, I can't stand drawing characters like me, someone who hasn't done anything, just going about their business as usual. So I put in a training scene, albeit a short one. I put that perverted conversation in there as a desperate attempt to add more genre-faithful school elements into the story at the time. I thought about discreetly, so no one would find out, modeling Ijichi and Yaga off of celebrities, but like I said in Volume Zero's postscript, I never intended on bringing Jujutsu over to the actual main magazine, so I went, whatever, probably like 5 people are gonna read this anyway, and gave them super obvious names and designs. I'm truly sorry about that, which we learned about earlier that Ijichi is literally based off a real life character. So I guess Yaga apparently is too. And now he's like, well, shit, I have to keep these characters somewhat the same. And sorry. Rika's concept was a girl who looked normal, but was actually bad news in retrospect. More evidence for Rika hate. A girl who uses her name as a first-person pronoun? That's cool stuff. For Rika's design, the top half of her head was open from being run over by a car and fully exposed her brain. But I realized it looked like a knockoff Nomu from My Hero Academia, and I redrew it. One of the hanging scrolls behind Geto, Death to Fools, is a reference to Old Man Calder from Zombie Powder. The Inumaki took his throat medicine without following the recommended directions. But how did that strike all of you readers? Jeez. We love the Zombie Powder reference. And he, like, I love that Gege is like, yeah, Inumaki definitely didn't love from everybody. Thank you. Crimson Titan is somehow just avoiding every single gifted membership. It's crazy because in the chat, Crimson Titan talked right before anybody got a gifted. So I was like, oh shit, he got it. No, he did not. I don't know why. This is crazy. He doesn't want it enough. Yeah, exactly. That's why. The way chapters 3 and 4 developed were essentially how I envisioned the climax of my previous work, number 9, if it got picked up as a full series instead of being confined to a one-shot. This will come off as a little uncool, but while I'm positive that it would have been more interesting if done in number 9, miniseries or not, this could have been my last shot at a series, so I decided, instead of holding back my ideas, let's try going with a brand new approach, and I incorporated the climax into the story. Damn, so get those big climax and everything, you know. All of this last big fight was like Gege really throwing everything at the board and going, fuck it, I'm just going to use my best ideas right now if I'm never going to be able to make a series ever again, which is respectable. Definitely respectable. Hey, what's up, Vex? Happy to have you. We missed you. That's why Geto vs. Yuta goes hard. So true. Alright, and then the last chapter of Volume 0. For Rika's power-ups, I had initially envisioned them to increase little by little with the number of PDAs with Yuta, like hand-holding dates or hugs. Gege, my man. It would be less of a binding vow and more of a simple sacrifice. But several factors, time constraints, the idea seeming too sexually exploitative, and me wanting to give this story a nice, neat ending led to me settling on this. In Chapter 3, I made a lot of line corrections in order to maintain consistency between the series, as it appears in the main magazine and when Volume 0's graphic novel came out. One such change was Gojo originally saying, "There's no way that I would mistake the odor of his cursed energy," in order to ensure no one thought he was talking about Geto's farts. I changed it to residuals instead. Little things like that. I'm fucking done. I'm so done. However, Chapter 4 had a whole bunch of those instances. It might be interesting for people with the serialized version to spot the differences. I added in Gojo's line about Michizane Sugawara as a parting gift to the late Yamanaka-san. He always was talking about wanting to add in a real-life historical figure. He said, let me Let me roast my fucking first editor's fucking dead body a little bit real quick at the end of my series. He said, you know what? You know what? Maybe I will throw in the real life historical character for the end. Gege, he was already dead. Why'd you have to do it like that? This is crazy. Gege really is Sukuna in real life, bro. You can't convince me otherwise. What's the most interesting and fun thing you've read so far that you might use for a vid? I definitely made a couple. I made the draft for Mechamaru if Mechamaru was alive, and if Mai was alive. And also just this whole idea is a great idea for a lot of cool shorts. And there's a whole section about the world of Jujutsu that goes into all the different curse techniques and goes into the specific, you know, explanations for things that we might not get complete explanation for in the actual manga itself. I may or may not go over those on stream, but that does exist. So I'm sure there will be a lot of things in there that will be good for just character dissection, going over characters' techniques and stuff like that. Let me finish the chapter 4 commentary. The reason Okotsu's uniform is white is the same reason why problem children are forced to sit in the most easy to spot desks in class, and he would switch to black like everyone else after Rika's curse was unraveled. It's white again in the main series, so I hope all of you Okotsu fans look forward to it. Also, I think that I'll touch upon it in the main series, but if the forces, curse spirits, hadn't been divided between Shinjuku and Kyoto, Geto would have won instead. Damn! My boy speaking Kenjaku's words all the way back in fucking chapter 4 of volume 0. Ain't no one can tell me Gege forgot. Or Gege does not know what the fuck he's doing. This man all the way back in commentary, you know what I mean? Double down. If the forces weren't divided between Shinjuku and Kyoto, Geto would have won. Man, I love Gege's twisted personality. Wish they would have made Yuji Shibuya love interest into an awakened sorcerer he had to fight. That would have been peak, I won't lie to you. That actually would have been pretty fire. All right, guys, and that was his chapter commentary for Volume 0, which honestly was really interesting. Like I said, I love reflecting on Gege's, you know, thoughts, especially as he was just crafting the series to begin with. Hearing how literally Jujutsu Kaisen was him just putting his all into his what he thought might have been his final series, and just giving the finger to his first editor, and that's how we got Jujutsu Kaisen as it was, because his editor was trying to change shit. And the fact that Gege is just so petty that he not only got his first editor fired, quote unquote, he decided to put what his first editor wanted him to do in the ending anyway. That was just funny. Yeah, peak origin story. And I love that even in the beginning of this, he's like, yeah, you know what? I like the first idea better with the paranormal society. And now we're going to get into the chapter commentary for the actual main series itself up to chapter 64. Now, I won't lie to you, these ones are not as long and in-depth. I imagine he kind of drew these up just as notes, as opposed to, you know, the Volume 0 were actually his thoughts and beginnings of the entire series itself. So they're still interesting, don't get me wrong, especially seeing what he thought about specific moments in the series and what he was thinking of as he made them. But keep in mind, these won't be as long. So, Volume 1, Chapter 1, Ryomen Sukuna. I used Bleach Chapter 1 as my jump-off point. Hey, no one can beat the Bleach inspirations. Literally, that's crazy. Literally crazy. Jujutsu Kaisen Chapter 1 is literally just based off of Bleach Chapter 1. Whatchamacallit. I would normally wonder what my own spin on the Naruto QB nine-tailed fox would look like, and I thought using someone incompatible would make for an interesting dynamic, which is how I came up with Sukuna. Hey, no one, you can't beat the Naruto references either. Gege literally said, alright, so what if Naruto and QB didn't get along? The thing is, I failed the serialization meeting due to the things being so based on Volume 0 that it deviated from the structure of a shonen manga's first chapter. Katayama-san also pointed out to me even before I submitted, and I totally agreed with him, but the run in Gege was somewhat of a moderate success, so it made me go, I mean, it should be fine, right? Before the meeting. Katayama-san also went, I mean, I don't see why not. But it rightfully flunked, causing the two of us to reflect on our decisions and go, how in the heck did we think this would fly? We eventually settled on its current incarnation. If I were to draft the chapter now, I would probably combine the hospital and the school and put Itadori's grandpa in the position of the occult research club. That's interesting. That's interesting. Again, even more proof that Gege is like, yeah, you know what, I probably would do this a little bit more. And I'm sure we get Togashi and Hunter x Hunter as an inspiration. But he mentioned that, I think, last stream, but I'm sure we'll hear stuff, too, as we go through the chapters. Gege feels like Yuji's grandpa was a wasted character. I feel that. He was like, you know what, I would have made Yuji's grandpa a little bit more relevant, which is fair. Chapter 2, Secret Execution. People often tell me that it's a good thing that Satoru Gojo is as powerful as Kakashi Sensei, but I always tell them that he's not in Kakashi Sensei's league. Damn, Gege even knows the power difference between New Gen and the Big Three. That's crazy. He said, guys, Gojo would get cooked by Kakashi. Let's be real. I think that's so funny. As for Gojo's design, it's less inspired by Kakashi and more of that one proctor during the Chunin exams with his head wrapped in bandages and his headband as a blindfold. That design really had an impact on me at the time, but I brought it up to Kishimoto Sensei when I met him and he replied, oh, was that a character? Damn, that's so crazy. Gege was like, yeah, that character made me completely come up with Gojo, and Kishimoto was like, who? I know exactly who he's talking about too. I know exactly who he's fucking talking about. I gotta show you. I can't find him. This guy. Hold on. This guy. Gege said, this is my Gojo inspiration. So deep in the NPC iceberg. Kishimoto didn't even remember making this character. So funny. Is it anime only? That would be even funnier. Where's the manga? Hold on. Tombo Tobitake. We gotta look him up. Is he an anime only character? That would be even funnier. That would be even more. Yeah, that. He is in the manga. Okay. He is in the manga. For like one scene. He exists. That would be funny though. That's hysterical. That's really funny. Tobutake Tanbo. I don't remember his name. Only 2 chapters in and the revelations are crazy. Chapter 3, For Myself. In the serialization meeting, I submitted Chapter 4 as Chapter 3, but I changed it after I was told, I think things are moving too fast. I felt left behind. When you have the mindset of, I'm doing you a favor and helping you out, and you don't get the response you want from the person you're helping, it's dangerously easy to start feeling betrayed. Like, hey, what gives? I helped you. To avoid falling into that trap, I slotted this chapter in. I think the concept of the facade being a private religious school was a little hard to understand, especially with essentially being a facility with an odd array of temples and shrines. Although the barrier obscures them from people's minds, that's funded with public money. They get people who make nagging inquiries, so they often lie. Yep, we're privatized. Just a religious school here. Ah, okay, so this was, and chapter 3 For Myself, that is the chapter where he meets, Yaga, and basically goes on the whole deal with, fighting Yaga's doll. So, we were gonna go right from chapter 2 to meeting with Nobara, and then his editor was like, nah, you gotta develop the school a little bit more. Which is fair. Fucking, it's so crazy to me that Gege's editors, even at this point, are like, whoa, bro, you're going a little too fast. Let's stop and develop the world a little bit more. People aren't gonna figure that out. And Gege's like, I guess you're right. Chapter 4, Girl of Steel. Kugasaki's debut chapter. When I'm coming up with story elements, it really helps that Kugasaki is the one character out of the main 3 that practically writes herself. There's the scene where the guy comes up and asks, hey there, you got a minute? But according to a female friend, pickup artists and these kinds of scouts always cut right to the chase from the word go. So I failed in the reality aspect here. The scene where they delight over Roppongai was parodying Shizukanaru Dan Yakuza side story, but no one ever mentioned or called me out for it. I love how Gege always takes in advice from his friends. He's like, hey, what did you think about this? Chapter 5, Start. I watched Horikoshi Sensei's interview about My Hero Academia on a program hosted by the comedian Kendo Kobayashi, and learned about the importance of preparing your peaks in advance after your first chapter. That's how I did things. As of chapter 6, Fearsome Womb. However, I got worse reception than I thought from the feedback questionnaires up to chapter 4, so I was like, there's no time to waste, and put more oomph in creating the hook here than expected. I was told that a dour hook could tank my votes even more. I think it means dark. But since I would have regretted not going full throttle, I kept it as is and submitted anyway. Chapter 6, Fearsome Womb. Due to the nature of juvenile detention centers, getting reference material was pretty hard, so I had the fight move to an incomplete domain, a ridiculously big maze with no curse technique or can't miss effects applied. I really do enjoy drawing people clashing their opinions. Huh. I guess he's talking about Yuji and Megami talking about the dead juvenile person that Yuji wants to bring his corpse out, and Megami's like, that's a waste of time, bro. Is this person really worth saving? That's how it all started. Chapter 7, Fearsome Womb, Part 2. The original plan was for Itadori to gain his realization from Chapter 3 here. But since I already did that, I had to change things to what you see here. I thought it would be a good idea to draw out whether Kugasaki was alive or dead to a whole chapter. but I couldn't keep that story going for long, so I made her rescue quick and snappy. Damn, Gege definitely got more into his comfort zone after this. Up to this point, the reader questionnaire response was still really shaky. So basically, Itadori having his whole, I have to be a sorcerer for myself. I'm not doing it for anyone else, because if I don't become a sorcerer and Sukuna kills someone or a curse kills someone, I feel like that's going to be my fault. Yuji was supposed to have that realization here, but instead we got the, holy shit, I was running track like a week ago. What has my life become? Chapter 8, Fearsome Womb, Part 3. And also, it's so funny that, like, he's like, I thought I could draw Kukasaki's alive or dead to a whole chapter, but I couldn't keep it going for that long. Here he is. We haven't heard about Nobara in over 130 something chapters. He's definitely gotten over that fear. Hey, Brendan. Not a problem at all. Thanks for being here. Chapter 8. I don't really have anything to say about this chapter. It's the first time I enjoyed the storyboarding and manuscript process since I started serialization. No, actually, I think I'm lying. I don't think that I've ever enjoyed drawing the manuscript. This is where I started seeing some rays of hope from the questionnaires. Chapter 8, is that when Sukuna starts beating shit up? Yeah, that's when Sukuna shows up. Part 9. Fearsome Womb, Part 4. Or Chapter 9. I prepared that unfair lifeline in order to flesh out Fushigoro's character, but it served as a lesson that there are some things you can only grasp once you actually make a character say lines in your manuscript. Fushiguro, in the end, unintentionally wound up a lot like Mikimo-kun from World Trigger, and it made me break a cold sweat afterward. I was a little worried that the "live a long life, okay?" line would be too much like Gajiro Sato-san, and people would laugh at it, but no one really said a word about it from storyboarding till after coming out in the magazine, so I assume it went over alright. Damn, where's JSARP, the World Trigger reference over here? Mikumo-kun. Not Mukuro, Mikumo. I might have mispronounced that. Mikumo-kun. Gajiro Sato-san. Personally speaking, Chapter 8 had a healthier response, but I had a temporary surge in the questionnaires, and the point they started to get shaky was Chapter 9 onward. No, he didn't really mention Maharaga here, Julius, which is interesting. Chapter 10, After the Rain. If I recall, there was a serialization meetings to decide which manga start and which manga end, and I think I spent the whole meeting like, if I get axed, I'll just go ahead and let Itadori die. Good thing I didn't. Itadori? I set a goal for myself that I'd put some kind of "I want to be stronger" line somewhere in order to try to be more like a classic shonen manga, but I managed to do it earlier than I expected. As for Jogo, I feel like I tried to give his design the same kind of visual clarity as Mr. 3 from One Piece. I love that. He was like, you know what? Isn't that insane? The fact that, do authors really meet up like once a week and they just watch people get chopped, that get put on the chopping block? Is that what happens? Is that what Gege just described to me right here? Everyone shows up once a week and it's like fucking Survivor and you just vote someone off the island? That's how he makes it seem. He makes it seem like, all right, serialization meeting. Hope I get to survive. That makes all of our favorite manga getting axed seem so much more like evil. Like everyone just watches as the other authors get taken out and everyone else is just like shaking their head, but they're quiet because they know even next week that could be them on the chopping block. What's up, Sticky Fingers? Yeah, it's rough out there. It's cutthroat. Yeah, who's Mr. 3? I'm not a big One Piece guy. So we're gonna look up Mr. 3 from One Piece. What? What? This is the what? This is who Gege wanted Jogo to come off like? Okay, respect, I guess. Not sure where the reference comes together there, but okay. Fair enough, Gege. Loud Gaming with the 10 gifted members. Thank you so much for the love and support. Thank you. That's a big buck dono right there. Thank you to everyone who's donated this stream and has tried so hard to get Crimson Titan a membership. Appreciate you, Tiberius, coming in with the gifted membership here. Still not Crimson Titan. I don't know what is going on here. Can I hold on? I can't. No, I was wondering if you could gift someone specifically a membership. Because I think YouTube partnered up with somebody. They gave some kind of thing where like you get one free gifted membership to give someone a month or something like that. I don't know what they did, but it's not like it's like Twitch Prime, but not. I don't know what that is. But either way, thank you again for everyone. Hit that like button if you haven't already, guys, as well. But yeah, Mr. 3 is a little crazy. That's okay. China Doll said, dang, everyone should be a member now. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Literally, YouTube's picking everyone but Crimson and RM. The two top chatters, which is crazy. Some of the two biggest people in the community. There's got to be something going on. Something screwy's going on. Chapter 11, A Dream. The action scene on top of the giant bone at the start is the stiffiest in Jujutsu Kaisen, and I'm sorry for it. If I recall, this is where I had my first break. But as soon as I went on break, I came down with a fever and cried to myself. I've heard of this happening to manga artists all the time. Damn it! I liked Vegeta's line from Dragon Ball, complaining about there being so many Super Saiyans that it's a Super Saiyan bargain sale. So Gojo's line about the higher-ups being a bargain sale of rotten tangerines came from that. Gege, I love Gege. Gege literally fucking shares all of his fucking inspirations on his sleeve, without a doubt. Hey, Molly, thank you for the 5 gifted. Appreciate that. 6 jumping in literally just to flex his verified check. All right, bro. I'll see you in 17K subs. Don't worry. I'll make sure your streams is the first one I test my check out on. Don't worry. All right, so that was 11. That's so funny that like literally he just copied Super Saiyan bargain sale. And bro, I feel that, Gege. That's the shittiest thing about being self-employed. And I assume it's pretty much almost similar for manga artists. Like days off, like if you get sick, you're not really getting paid for that day off. You can't just take a PTO sick day. It's like, damn, I just wasted my fucking vacation getting sick. I wasted the one vacation that I did get paid for, and I'm sick. Chapter 12, Pushing Forward. For the flaking out on job scene, I actually had a totally different set of lines in store. The flaking out on job scene. I got told, yeah, this might turn off readers, so I kept the art the same and just changed the lines. Fushiguro might have been a little rough in his apology to Tadashi's mother by essentially telling her that he didn't want to save her son, but it seemed dishonest if he apologized while hiding that fact. By the way, if Akutami was Fushiguro, then they would have made it sound like they did their best. What a jerkwad. Huh. Damn. Fushiguro's a dick. What do you mean demonetization? What you talking about, Willis? Simple domain. W different strokes reference. Common L from Potential Man. Gege's been fueling the burn allegations from day one. Chapter 13, watching movies. You should either go all out for training arcs or just not do it at all. That was my editor's advice to me, and I opted not to do it at all. I never had any intentions of improving, so I decided that if I had him lose a ton in real battles and have him get stronger, the readers would come to approve even without a training arc. The way Gojo said, watching movies was supposed to be the same as when Kakashi Sensei went, we climb trees. But Kakashi Sensei working and wearing out his students made for a more appealing manga scene, I'm sure. Well, now we know why Yuji just literally suffers. Now we literally know why Yuji just gets beat the fuck up as much as possible. Real experience over training all day. He said, nah, fuck training. I'm just gonna beat my character up until he has until people are like, yeah, he deserves to be where he's at. This is what I mean, and this is why I literally said that these chapter commentaries were exactly why I wanted to put this to a stream. Exactly why I wanted to put this to a stream. I said thank you for the 5 gifted memberships, right, Molly? I got sidetracked. Thank you. You get 2 thank yous if I said thank you before, but I appreciate you. Thank you for the support. Chapter 14, Assault. 10 toes on defending Megami. I did. Sometimes I forget. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. If I recall, at the time, Detective Conan, the one with Amuro-san, was popular. I'm gonna draw cool guys too, I said, drawing the chapter with gusto. However, I got told by a girl who claimed to be Amuro's girlfriend, you should have picked a cooler opponent for him to face, you dummy. Hey, come on, Jogo's cool too, you know. Yeah, Gege based. Whoever said that, fake fan. Absolute fake fan. Get out of here. Jogoat gang confirmed. Chapter 15, Domain. The movie that's playing where the character was calling for Sam was supposed to be I Am Legend, but in the anime, it became Lord of the Rings. I rifled through the anime storyboards, checked my editor, and basically left the rest to the staff, but since I find different readings like this is fun, I let them slide so long as it's nothing major. As for the average Jutsu sorcerer burning up just by entering the domain, Gojo is extremely powerful, resulting in that debuff being applied. Or Jogo is extremely powerful, resulting in that being applied. Itadori being okay inside is either because of Sukuna, Gojo, or Itadori not being average. But I'll leave that up for all of you to decide. What Gojo smashed with his domain was a meteor, quote unquote, that Jogo launched as a preliminary test and doesn't have any can't miss effects. I like Jogo's line here because it sounds something like Rao Watanabe-san, a solo comedian, would say. Damn, so Jogo fucking dropped the meteor before we all knew. That's crazy. Mali, thank you for the gifted membership. Still no Crimson Titan. This is just tragic. This is just tragic. Thank you for the 5, Loud Gaming. Jogo versus Curse Naoya. Who's winning that domain clash? Probably, I would put Curse Spirit Naoya above Jogo. I'll default that to a poll though. That's interesting. I'm curious what people think. But I would give that to Naoya. I don't know, Jogo speed blitz Naobito, but I would imagine Curse Naoya is faster than Naobito. Curse Naoya, I would imagine, is faster than the Disaster Curses. And also, I don't think that would... I think if they actually came down to domain clash, I think Naoya's domain is much more refined and also is a better sure hit, in my opinion, so... If Jogo was female, Naoya gets a massive buff. True, and Naobito did lose speed because of losing an arm. True, very true. They give the iconic panel as this chapter commentary page. The Unlimited Void. Chapter 16, Affection. Excluding chapters 1 and 2, it's my first color page. I ended up making the drawing pretty reserved, all things considered. Reading it back now, Mahito looks like a flirtatious hunk. Has he always been this debonair? I gotta look up this color page now. Shit. Jujutsu Kaisen doi. Mahito's not even in that. Weird, but okay. Weird. Anyway. Oh, that was both chapter 16 and 17. He didn't say anything for chapter 17. I think. Yeah, nothing for 17, unless they forgot to put it in. Chapter 18, Bottom. When dealing with diss battles, even if I come up with some nice phrasing, I'll sometimes go, would this character actually say this? And it will stall the back and forth. Happens a lot with Yuji. I'm glad that it comes out without a hitch for Mai. I didn't intend on drawing Miwa so cutesy at this point in time, but once she actually debuted, she was the most charming. So I went full swing in that direction for her afterward. I'm personally a fan of the Sakamichi group, but I'm just a fan of their TV Tokyo program, so I've never been to meet and greet. I asked for details about them from a Hello Project otaku who lived in Wakayama and used to be a groupie for Magnolia Factory. I asked a doctor friend of mine about what would have caused the 3 boys' deaths, and he told me increased pressure to the brain. But then he later told me, aw man, escalated instead of increase would have sounded more medical. Then you should have told me that from the frickin' start, dude. He's talking about the scene when Mahito kills all the people in the movie. Or is that... Yeah, that's the movie. Chapter 19, Young Fish and Reverse Punishment. Yoshino's debut. The initial plan for Young Fish and Reverse Punishment was to show a detached kid going through hell, like in Kanai Minato Sensei's novel Confessions. And that actually did end up happening, but I totally screwed up in showing Yoshino's character. Plus, I went through the story with my feelings toward him being in the same vein as Light Yagami's feelings toward Misa Misa in Death Note. I wanted to think, Yoshino, please don't die, please be my friend, but chalk that up to a lack of skill on my part. It's frustrating. On the contrary, I really got into Nanami, and I tend to imagine that maybe I would have gotten axed if he weren't in this arc. Did anyone catch the Bobobo reference with the one transfigured human? Hey, thanks for coming by for your break, you boy. You should talk about Wee Wee's special grade potential due to his white attire. It's a good point. Oh, adult Wee Wee should be special grade? Yeah, Wee Wee has big time potential, I think for sure. I believe that without a doubt. That's just... Yeah, Gege really is an interesting character. Chapter 20, Young Fish and Reverse Punishment Part 2. Nanami's curse technique was something I thought of before I started planning Jujutsu, and I was simply delighted to see it realized in the series. On the other hand, Itadori's Divergent Fist is, well, one of those things, you know what I mean. The information divulgence binding vow increases the effects of one's curse technique is a knockoff restriction and vow, of vow from Hunter x Hunter. I often get praised for this idea, but I just did it in a louder voice. Togashi Sensei, who did it without saying anything, pulled it off far better. I feel like the contradictions between imaginary vengeful spirits, Jogo's ideals, and the mechanisms behind cursed spirits spawning will get explained by the word that occasionally shows up in the series: self-supporting. Yep, that Hunter x Hunter love. I love how Gege is like, people always praise me for coming up with this, but it wasn't me, it was Gege. Chapter 21, Young Fish and Reverse Punishment Part 3. Speaking honestly, it's hard rereading the Yoshino stuff, and it's even kind of tough to listen to his lines in the anime. I'm so sorry, Yamaya-san. The surname Yoshio was actually a placeholder in the storyboards, and I think I actually wanted to make it Kanada. I didn't pay attention, and I left it as is. So I was like, well, the name is kind of plant-like, so maybe it'll mislead people, and signed off on it. I have a friend with the same surname. Gege stay fucking killing the people that he knows in real life in his stories, bro. He really is Light Yagami, be fucking writing people's names in the Death Note. To this day, he happily lugs around a beefy camera and goes to photo sessions with the sexy internet ladies. What, Gege? If there's anyone who's feeling lost over Yoshino, feel free to fill that void with this Yoshino-kun instead. Note: Yuji, Fushiguro, and Nobura's names are derived from the Japanese knotweed, the catchfly, and wild Japanese rose, respectively. Yoshino can be either a Yoshinogusa, a type of cherry blossom, or a Yoshinosu, a type of chrysanthemum. Hence, why it would mislead people into thinking Yoshino would join the cast. Gege was trying to pull off the Junpei trolling even in Junpei's name. He was like, yeah, look, he fits the he fits the main trio's naming, attire. Wouldn't he fit right well in the story? Gege does know what he's doing. Have a good night, Molly. Thanks for stopping by. Young Fish and Reverse Punishment 4. The action scene at the beginning was an homage to Yutaka Nakamura's part in the anime film Sword of the Stranger. Mahito's curse technique was something I pulled from a piece of backstory that I planned to be a core element of my one-shot number 9 if it ever got serialized. Maybe it will become just as important in Jujutsu too. At least, it should be. I rarely draw fat characters, and so Tamura-sensei on the page is fatter than I assumed. Well damn, Gege, okay. The fat phobia be crazy. Sword of the Stranger is a good movie. Chapter 23, Young Fish and Reverse Punishment, Part 5. In the end, I feel like I still haven't given an explanation for expanded or extended curse techniques, right? An extended curse technique is sort of like a sorcerer's original ability, made by expanding the interpretation of one's innate technique. The ability to gain a critical hit off of a 7-to-3 ratio is from the innate technique, and the ability to imbue curse energy into whatever he destroyed with the prior ability to launch an indirect attack is Collapse, extended curse technique. I like the work of the animator Gosei Oda, but the fluid and immense sequence for Collapse in the anime was extremely cool. It really made you feel the pedigree of Shingo Yamashita-san, the animator most well known for handling the openings. I love that Gege enjoys his own anime. Chapter 24. One thing I'm self-conscious of that occasionally pops up is that I don't like bringing up real-life movies in the series because I don't want to give off the vibe that I'm an avid movie watcher. That's another reason why Yoshino is so hard for me to draw. The part about Itadori fearing that the choice to kill will find its way into his life is something I sincerely thought while watching Breaking Bad. Yo, you listening to me, sensei? Hey, Gege loves Breaking Bad. Gege loves peak fiction, confirmed. Gege said, yeah. Yuji's unsure if being wanting to kill is just like Walter White, he said. Chapter 25, Narrow-Minded. I had been trying to avoid narration due to not being confident in my writing skills, but I ended up doing it in Chapter 25. At this point, it wasn't too bad, because you could see them as being Jujutsu High's logs, but seeing how these would pop up in battle depictions as well, I'm slowly but surely tying the noose around my neck. Currently looking for people to supervise my writing. Often as of late, I've been catching myself going, huh? Didn't I use this exact same phrasing before? My vocabulary really sucks. I like real sounding names because it adds a layer of reality to the story, but this is probably one of those times when I shouldn't. To all the Shoto Itos around the country, I'm sorry. Have any of you been catching that every time I put in a scene of civilians witnessing curtains or curse spirits, I include some people who can see them and some that can't? Gege really is an interesting fucking guy, man. Gege really did, for sure, tie himself with that narration. He knew what he was doing. He was like, oh no. He was like, oh no. I'm gonna start narrating things and then things are gonna get crazy. And what happened? What happened? Gege's so random, yet not. Gege really be going with the flow while he wrote this manga. Isn't that crazy? I love that he hates the Junpei part. Like, he does not enjoy that part at all. He's like, it's hard for me to even go back and consider that part of my manga. Which, that's the part that got me into Jujutsu Kaisen, was when you killed fucking Junpei. Chapter 26, To You Someday. I have a friend named Takuma Ito who demanded I put him in the manga, so I tinkered with the name a bit and put him in. His face in the panel is his debut scene with the nameplate looked a bit like him. After that I switched to my style. Ino fans across the country. Ino actually exists. Wow. Takuma Ino is based off of Gege's friend. the Shiesty Sorcerer is literally based off of Gege's friend. No wonder he's the freaking MVP and he didn't die. Ino is literally based off of literally based off of Gege's friend. That's also why Ino kept getting beat the fuck up. Damn, that's crazy. I wonder if homie hit him up after Toji rearranged his face and he was like, bro, what the fuck, man? Why'd you have Toji beat me up? That's crazy. The most commonly used medium for Shikigami are cursed talismans or strands of hair. Ino is a hair type, so that confirms Yuta using strands of hair for Shikigami. So that's what Druve also did. So that confirms it right there. That's how Shikigami are formed, either with strands of hair or with talismans. As for the title, To You Someday, it was because I thought that what Yuji said, who are you making excuses to? You're just trying to convince yourself, would sting to some nerds out there someday. Gege, who hurt you, bro? Does that mean 10 shadows are also hair? I would imagine that's more shadow stuff, and that didn't change, right? Chapter 27 had to put this iconic scene as the main page. Yeah, ha, nerd, coming from Gege specifically. Chapter 27, What If? Personally, I think that this is where the excitement of this arc finally amps up. Way to be late, Gege. I remember that when I was drawing Junpei's transfiguration scene, Da Pump's USA, a song that was all the rage, started autoplaying. I had yet to listen to it at the time, and it was such a banger that I ended up getting carried away in the beat. Sorry, Yoshino. Damn, Gege said I was feeling myself when I was drawing your death scene. That's why it was so brutal. Who is this man? Mahito's line, you overthink things when you should act, which puts you in some pretty bad spots, essentially means overthinking things isn't good. And since I'm the type to lack any spontaneity between thinking and taking action, I also meant it as a slam against myself. One of my friends had the manager at their part-time job form a clique and bully other part-timers, so he just up and whacked him with a steel folding chair right there on the spot. I think I'd like to be like that myself. Well, violence is never the solution, but I assume you get what I mean with spontaneity. Gege is one of a kind, man. Also, Gege strikes me as the kind of guy that's friends with the wildest of people. How many friends has Gege had so far in this fucking story? How many of them are just Gege? I said for the ha 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 spread in a meeting, maybe I should draw it 3 times in 6 pages, you know, with Itadori crying and stuff. And then you get those two going like, oh, look at him crying. But when it came time to draft the storyboards, I finally came back to my senses. Bro was trying to turn the laughing scene into the 6-page Muda. That's insane to me. Gege really hates Yuji. Suffering makes Yuji stronger. That's what we learned already, right? Gege himself basically said it. Chapter 28, I'm gonna kill you. Excluding chapter 1, it's my first lead color page. Front of the magazine, if anyone doesn't know. I remember being relieved that it landed right on an action chapter. Honestly, I wanted to make Itadori go even more off the rails, but I ended up pumping the brakes at an awkward spot. I drew part of Mahito forming his substitute body in the corner of one of the panels, so try to find it. Damn, Gege really dropped the whole secret Mahito dropping his substitute body as in like a quick little corner part of the panel. Huh. Chapter 29, Growth. In a previous chapter, when Nanami said, some people really are rotten, it could refer to people who are so evil that they're rotten, or some people are so rotten that there's no recourse but to kill them. But in this chapter, Itadori ended up killing the latter. If you asked me if you could place the wound paintings in this prior category, I'd have mixed feelings. Huh. So Gege specifically making a difference even right here for the death paintings compared to the disaster curses. Chapter 30. As you've probably noticed by now, Nanami doesn't fare well in barrier techniques. The bakery in the flashback was a cake shop that I had in my reference materials, and when I had my assistant draw it, I told him, this is supposed to be a bakery, so make sure to change the sign to read something else. What he handed back to me was bakery, 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 which had all of the energy of a response in the last half of an Ogiri game, a funny answer game, and I remember laughing out loud. It was so funny that I left it as is. I had a blast drawing people like Nanami's scummy supervisor. I wonder if I'll ever have someone similar show up. I had a feeling that Nanami was actually going to die in this chapter, but every character's actions ended up culminating in the outcome that we have now. I used to hear that before starting a serialization, the characters will surpass the script. That used to confuse me, but experiencing the phenomenon firsthand got me high as a kite. Gege finding out he loves storytelling. The characters reach past Nanami's narration. Gege landed a black flash with the pen. Yo, so true. He said, damn, they actually pulled it off. I mean, that explains why Sukuna's just been getting away with murder. He's like, you know what? Sukuna should be able to get out of this. You know what? Sukuna should be able to get out of this. You know what? Sukuna should be able to get out of this. This proves that, like the one person that tweeted to me, oh, Gege could have just not had Sukuna do domain expansion. Clearly, Gege is no longer writing the story here. It also mirrors him killing Nobara based off of how her character acts. True. Gege truly believes he's writing a character-driven story. Chapter 31, Tomorrow. I originally had it so that you couldn't use curse techniques for a short while after a domain expansion, but as I was drafting out the storyboard, I changed couldn't use to hard to use. Thanks to that, Mahito seemed to have a harder time. I thought that Itadori's natural correct death sounded too arrogant, so I'm glad that he's starting to second guess himself, question himself. I'm relieved that I managed to show Satomura Sensei's decent side, and his past not decent side. Chapter 32, Introspection. When I was drawing the color page, I referenced some clothes I didn't think I would normally use from a fashion magazine, but they added some marketing text like hashtag casual outfits to the page, and I remember being like, huh? The term casual wear was mentioned at the meeting, I think. Well, as they say in Japanese business, ho ren so, report, contact, discuss. The part about coercing a vow is probably on another page. At this point in time, I had become a junkie to the high I got off of my characters surpassing the script like last time. I was pleading, one more, let me feel that high one more time, please. That's why I had a lot of elements of uncertainty sprinkled throughout the Goodwill event. The majority of the Kyoto school members were shaped from that. That's probably why they're such dog shit. By the way, I really respect Yoshio Kojima, a comedian, because he's buff, can speak English, and he's funny. Chapter 33, Kyoto Sister School Goodwill Event Team Battle Part 0. In regard to Inumaki's curse technique, Maki said, Toge's on a different level. That, of course, refers to the fact that cursed speech boasts peak performance, but in a more general sense, it means it's so famous that everyone knows about it. Slaughter Demon was one of the few curse tools that Maki owned herself, so Gojo wronged her pretty badly here. As I was drawing the strategy meeting, I thought to myself, man, World Trigger is awesome. Gege and JCRP on the same wavelength. If I recall, around this time, both World Trigger and My Hero Academia were both in the middle of team battles of their own, and they were so, like, you know, man, yeah. I guess we know what Gege's ongoing inspirations were for Jujutsu Kaisen. Chapter 34. The initial plan for the Tokyo side was to match Todo with either the student who seemed capable of going toe-to-toe with him physically, Panda, or the student who was a plethora of moves to deal with him, Fushiguro. Was being the key word there. Also, I think the Todo's "you're kidding" line here. I think I like Todo's "you're kidding" line here. I love how Gege acting like he's not the one writing his own story. Chapter 35. Yeah, Fushiguro would have gotten stomped. Yeah, Panda or Megami was not doing anything against Todo. I remember being excited when my manga mentor told me that the imaginary memories part made them laugh. In the course of working on the team battle, I had to think about how the students would communicate with one another. But considering that I didn't really want to go all in with the battle thing, and I was going to have a barrier or curtain or something interrupt the event, I made up an excuse and was like, as a treat to myself, I won't go out of my way to have them mention regular radio usage or anything like that. And I eventually settled on them using their cell phones. Kukusaki thankfully explains it away later on. Todo usually doesn't try to use his curse technique, but 2 of the third years not knowing about it might have been a stretch. Speaking of stretches, when Itadori saw Mekamaru's Ultra Cannon charging in the magazine, he said, "A beam?" But another author pointed out to me through my editor when they asked, should Itadori really know this? I thought, oh yeah, Itadori has a really good intuition here. So in the graphic novel release, I changed it to a, what? I'm glad that everyone also thought the imaginary Todo scene was funny. Chapter 36. I think it's around this part when I started to be conscious about something I would constantly hear from my editor. I'd like Itadori to have some special attacks. Though, what ended up debuting wasn't a special attack exclusive to him. I don't really have much to say about this part, other than Todo's energetic. I love how, like, Gege was like, alright, bet. I'll give him something that everyone else can do. How does that sound? Gege fucking can't stand Yuji, bro. Chapter 37. Yep. Todo's energetic, alright. Literally, that's it. That's all he wrote. That's all he wrote for 37. Chapter 38. When I was starting the Goodwill event, I heard rumors that battles that don't focus on the protagonist tend to go over badly in the questionnaires. But I remember the Panda vs Mekamaru fight actually went over really well. Maybe because it actually had a decisive winner and loser and a rare change of pace? The things on Panda's fists, what do you call them? Brass knuckles? Well, whatever they are, there was a panel of one of them fluttering in the wind, but I always envisioned them having a metal plate packed inside of them. I goofed. God damn, Panda's packing heat? Is that what you're telling me, bro? Those aren't just fucking fancy design gloves, they're actually full-on brass knuckles, bro. Panda's rearranging motherfuckers' jaws? God damn. That's crazy. Panda's Rock Lee, but at the but on his hands. Chapter 39. I just noticed this now, but I only started drawing Yaga's eyebrows halfway through. He didn't even have them in the beginning. Panda's line about people going through a lot not being necessarily right, and Yuji's line back in chapter 5 about everyone having reasons, so having a more serious one doesn't make you better than anyone. These are both things that I normally try to look out for, as I think they're pretty important values, but they're usually reserved for small panels, so they don't come off as too preachy. We see Gege bring this theme up multiple times. He even brings this up in the Yuji vs. Mahito climax in Shibuya. Chapter 40. This is Maki's first time in action in the main series. Gosh, it's great that Mei-san gave her such a glowing review, eh? Speaking of Mei-san, she is one of my very favorite characters. Gege, you are based. Yes. Yes! Jogo! Mei, the ultimate duo! Real ones, no! Mei is one of my favorite characters, so I wish I spent more time on Volume 12's cover. I tell ya, it's gonna haunt me that I wasn't able to really do a drawing of my favorite character justice. Especially when said drawing is on a graphic novel cover in perpetuity. Mei is Gege's favorite character. That's crazy. Same level as Nanami. Crazy insane. Have to see Gege's chapter commentary on that one chapter with Mei and Wee Wee. Have to see Gege's chapter commentary for that, for sure. We need that second Databook stat. The allegations need to be proven wrong, Gege. Chapter 41, and this is Nobara's big scene. I was worried that maybe the main gist of the hook from the last chapter was a little too contemporary. It seemed like the kind of exchange that'd be misinterpreted. I once touched upon an issue that arose from cognitive distortion toward female actresses and female doctors, that they should be a quote-unquote certain way, but I'm not really all that confident in my critical thinking skills. So in that regard, I was a little afraid to touch upon this kind of contemporary theme in my manga. Normally the outcome of battles and everyone's personal mantras don't really matter. But I'd like anyone who didn't understand why Kukusaki couldn't close out this bout to give it some thought. That being said, Akutami would appreciate it if you don't get your hopes up despite the convincing sounding themes coming out of their mouth. Akutami makes a lot of mistakes, and they're a pretty hopeless individual. Kukusaki's reasoning behind choosing the squeaky hammer was that it was the least lethal out of all the hammers compatible with her cursed energy. Might have been said on another page too. I'm glad that Mai and Nishimiya's phone call had somewhat sexual undertones to it. What? Maybe I was wrong. Maybe Mai and Momo do got something going on. What was that Gege lore drop right there? What does that even mean? Chapter 41, I gotta read this for myself. What did you mean by that, Gege? What did you mean by that? It's not a good sign if he was forced to use his finishing blah 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 blah. Don't worry, Momo. I know. Yeah. Get away from there and support us from above. I need you. Okay. Why? How are there? Gege, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? How are there sexual undertones in this conversation? I'm appalled here. Someone explain this to me. I do like it to be. I do like the beginning of this commentary where Gege's like, look, despite what themes that I may put out there, he goes, please understand that sometimes I may get them wrong. He goes, I'm not the best. He goes, I'm trying. He goes, despite how great these themes may come across, please realize that I'm also a flawed individual and I may get things incorrect, or I may not. He's at least honest with himself. He goes, look, I'm rooting for you, but sometimes I may not do the best that I can. Maybe lost in translation. Yeah, we can only hope so, Tiberius. Very true. Chapter 42. This is where Horikoshi Sensei's contribution is published in the graphic novel. It's so freaking cool. He's so smart, making Gojo hide his face. Gah. Itadori's mention of poise and center of gravity at the start of the chapter. That's something I experienced back when I was in school. My senpai entered the National Sports Festival of Japan for wrestling, and I had him show me a lot of martial arts stories and videos. Fun fact, that man is Toto's model. Toto fans across the country. Toto actually exists. He just did this again. So both Toto and Ino exist now. Chapter 43. I like the idea for Flowing Red Scale, which is to say that I think I managed to give a jujutsu spin on the time-honored shonen manga ability of blood manipulation. Inumaki is holding Mekamaru's phone that the divine dog carried to him, and Mekamaru's arm that he used to get past the fingerprint recognition. But is Mekamaru having fingerprints a stretch? I breathed a sigh of relief after managing to include Hanami crashing the event at the end of the volume. He said, oh, thank God, I can stop doing a tournament arc. Is Toto missing an arm now in real life? Who's more useless, Miwa or Momo? Miwa, for sure. Momo's the GOAT. Momo's friend of the show. We support Momo here. Queen Nishimiya. Chapter 44. What does everyone think about the fact that there have hardly been any Shikigami users who are bad at close quarters combat? Maybe Yoshino, actually? Gege realizing that he's like, you know what? Actually, all of the Shikigami users I've drawn have been good at close combat. What does everyone think about the fact that there have hardly been any Shikigami users who are oh, I just read that. Chapter 45. Sage. Hanami's fucking time to shine. Yaga's eyebrows are gone again. God damn it, Gege. This is also the first chapter Hanami speaks. Once I told the anime staff that I envisioned him with a female voice, they told me that they weren't expecting that. And when I was conveying what I wanted in a voice actress, I said I was picturing a woman with a compelling voice. Sort of like Atsuko Tanaka. And to my great surprise, they replied to me, Atsuko Tanaka-san it is. You gotta love being like able to like pick the people and having enough direction in your anime to name that, and then like you name someone, you're like, I want to get someone like this person. They're like, okay, well let's just get this person, and you're like, oh shit, I must be a big deal. That little episode was sort of like letting a kindergartner hold the switch to nuclear bombs. Or to be more specific, it was a time that my ghost whispered a warning to me to be careful of blurting out requests because they might just get accepted. Major Kusanagi. The thing Hanami talked about was from something I saw a long time ago, sort of a simulation of humanity going extinct. I think you'd get the idea if you read Dr. Stone. Which is just like, yeah, if all humans, you know, are done, then nature will reclaim the earth, basically. That's Hanami's entire idea. Gege not realizing his own authority. Yeah, literally. Literally. Chapter 46. Time. You see, a good while ago, there was this milk commercial with the tagline, "Consult your milk." I don't have much to say about this part either. What? It's sad seeing Miwa's katana getting treated like it's blunt when Miwa isn't around. On page 200, actually, China Doll. I love that Gege literally goes, yeah, consult your milk. And he's like, yeah, I felt that, so I made Hanami. Ask your plant how it feels. Chapter 47, Curse Tools. This is the chapter, the one where the names of the Divine Dog Totality and Chainsaw Man's, Divine Dog Khan and Chainsaw Man's Khan overlapped in the same issue. However, the Khan in Chainsaw was like 100 million times cooler. Fujimoto Sensei, there are going to be a lot of these switching scenes moving forward. This is Akutami's preference. Ayo, I love that, like, Gege and Fujimoto are friends, and he goes, hey, we revealed our Khans at the same time. Chapter 48, Black Flash. The starting point for Todo's character was a question. How would I do Kenpachi Zaraki from Bleach in Jujutsu? I thought that Gojo is the strongest, but he's not really Kenpachi. Definitely fair. Gojo is not Kenpachi by any means. I don't think Todo is exactly Kenpachi Zaraki either, but fair enough. I took the fact that Kenpachi leaves an impression where you think, oh, if he shows up, he's not gonna die because he's so strong, and tried going, oh, if he shows up, then he's not gonna die because he'll turn this whole thing into a gag. And what I built from that model was Todo. It was a rare case where things went according to plan. Or maybe I should say, I'm glad that he ended up being such a big hit. I feel like the basis for this chapter was the part in Kenka Shobai where Busan teaches the Kongo technique to Jubi. And for those that aren't familiar, everyone should be familiar, but for those that aren't familiar, Kenpachi Zaraki, the GOAT himself from Bleach, this is Todo's inspiration. I will say he is definitely a character that when he shows up, you know shit's about to get real. And I will say Todo definitely captures that exact same effect for sure. Kenpachi is the GOAT. Great character. Kubo did him correct. And also Kenpachi Zaraki is canonically one of the Gote 13 captains that would literally just use his sword and cut right through Limitless. Why can Kenpachi cut through direct space itself? Because he's just that fucking powerful. You don't need an explanation. He's just Kenpachi Zaraki. Kenpachi literally would just cut through Limitless and kill Gojo. No questions needed. The Gremmy beater. Yeah, he is canonically the beater of my favorite Quincy of all time, Gremmy Thamo. I love one of my favorite Quincy of all time. I love Gremmy. Gremmy has the coolest power in all of fiction. I will stand by that till my dying day. Hey, look, it's me. Anyway. Yeah. Oh, if I knew it was infinity, I would have been trying to cut through it. Yeah, exactly, NJW. Literally exactly. There ain't a damn thing I can't cut. Facts. Kenpachi's training arc was dope. Yes, Kenpachi versus Unohana was so fire. As someone that read Bleach Weekly when that was coming out, That was some of the most peak fiction in the world. Oh my god. Thousand Year Blood War weekly was rough. I won't lie to you. Thousand Year Blood War weekly was rough. Compared to Verse Aizen Dayside, oh my god, that run. How many chapters a Dayside were there? How many chapters of Dayside? The God is to kill God. To kill God arc was so fire. I think it was like 14, 16 chapters. Yeah, but I can't say that to kill God arc was so good. Dayside was such a great run, a string of chapters to experience weekly. It was insane. And then Thousand Year Blood War was kind of a Fullbring arc. Maybe that's why I have such bad feelings of Fullbring arc, because I experienced that weekly in the manga and I was like, bro, this sucks. But you know, maybe I need to give Fullbring arc another chance. What's up, Blame It on Tony? I'm doing good, thank you. Have you ever made an Espada ranking for strength? I'll probably end up doing an Espada Resurrection ranking. That's probably what I'll end up doing, as opposed to just a basic Espada ranking in power, because they're pretty much already ranked in power, even though, you know, you have outliers like Ulquiorra, and Grimjow, of course, end of series, Neliel, where Neliel fits into. So I think I would have more fun doing a Resurrection ranking. Follow it up with my Zanpakuto, you know, my Schrift ranking, as opposed to ranking all the Quincy's, all the Sternritter. I just ranked the Schrifts. I think that's a little bit more fun. That arc was garbage? What are you talking about? The Aizen, the finale of the Aizen arc was peak. I did a Bankai ranking, Sir Julius. My Zanpakuto ranked video. Check it out if you haven't seen it. Chapter 49. Let's finish this up, guys. We got a couple more chapters left. This goes until chapter 64, and then we're probably gonna call it. Call the stream. Thank you guys all so much for hanging out. Hit that like button if you haven't already. And then yeah, let's finish up these last couple chapter commentaries. Chapter 49, Constrained. Toto's energetic, and I don't have much to say about this chapter. The splendid that Toto says in the second to last panel of the chapter is something I think Manji-san from Blade of the Immortal said a lot. Gege, Toto is just capturing all of Gege's attention as he's looking through all these chapters. Chapter 50. I remember having nothing but fun drafting the storyboards for this part. I think Toto's curse technique's first name was Fruits Basket at first, like the chair switching game. Could you fucking imagine? Fruits Basket? Good thing I changed it, I agree. I was pleased to get praised by a senpai author via my editor on the Can't Escape double page spread. Yeah, that is a fire double page spread when they're fucking got Hanami stuck in the boogie woogie switching. However, I feel this is around when my editor started to suspect, okay, this guy gets way more giddy when I tell him that Blank-san complimented him than when I give him a regular compliment. So I might have been a little too happy and tipped him off about that. Nanami talking like Baki from Baki the Grappler was a nice bit. Confirm the Nanami bit was taken from fucking Baki. Nanami explaining Black Flash. Chapter 51, A Flower Offering. Hanami's solar beam-like attack was a single panel in the magazine, but I gave it its own spread in the graphic novel because the original layout looked too weak. Speaking of Pokemon, I had so much confidence when I was playing around with designing a set of starting 3, but they were poorly received. Apparently, the ones I drew are too creepy. Ha! Look at Gege's fucking Pokemon that he designed. See if I can get a little better of an angle here. Gege designed starter Pokemon. Chapter 52. Considering future developments, I really regret not killing off Hanami. Well, that explains why Hanami died immediately in Shibuya incident. Since Toto had been so popular thus far, I should have just let those two take the good part of the story for themselves and let Gojo just bring the situation under control. Maybe if I had, then later down the road I would have gotten that high from characters surpassing the script. I called this little episode The Chicken-Hearted Tales of a Junkie. They look like they could be Cthulhu monsters. Yeah, no shit, they told them they were too fucking creepy. Yeah, those are some horror Pokemon, if I ever seen one before. Thank you for the gifted membership, China Doll. Crimson Titan, aw. I was praying for you. I was trying to send you the luck. It did not work at all. Thank you though for the love. I appreciate it. But yeah, that explains why Hanami died immediately in Shibuya incident. I think the Hanami dying in Shibuya incident ended up being such a cooler moment for Gojo. But you know what? Hollow Purple making its debut by killing Hanami in one shot also would have been crazy. So I can't tell you what I would have preferred here. I honestly can't tell you. Or I guess Gege's implying he would have let Yuji and Toto kill Hanami, but still. Chapter 53, Completion. The Happily Ever After? Chapter? Not much to really say about this one. I've been told that the Maki and Mai battle and the interaction between Toto and Itadori were very Bleach-like, which is true. I'm embarrassed and sorry for the unintentional homage. Gege, you clearly got over wearing your inspirations on your sleeve, which I respect. The mobile game gave us her domain expansion, yes. The mobile game gave us Hanami's domain. Chapter 54, Jujutsu Kaisen. This chapter was another my senpai, through my editor, told. Redacted? I don't understand what that sentence even means, Gege. This chapter was another my senpai, through my editor, told redacted. It's a palate cleanser after all the seriousness. I remember that I drew it thinking, yeah, it's whatever. I don't have to worry about any feedback questionnaires. But the feedback was pretty positive. I even got praise. It was my first time drawing sports in a manga. Actually, I'm not too sure if that's true, but we'll say it is. I was convinced that I could not handle a sports segment. The checklist is just too big. Nishimiya's cap was cute and reminded me of how Nagasawa-kun from Chibi Maruka-chan would wear his. Hey, thank you for the super sticker, China Doll. Thank you for the $20 dono. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for all the big buck donos this stream. Thank you so much. Big W, we say. Big W. I'm glad that the sports went over well for him. Chapter 56, the beginning of Origin of Obedience in the last arc of commentary. I drew this chapter because I wanted a horror short story like intro, but it ended up being a slow start, as always. For just once in my life, I'd like to draw an arc where it's just big thrills from the second the intro gets rolling. Yasahachi Bridge was modeled after that one place that any Sendai local should know. I don't know. I'm not a Sendai local, so I don't know. But yeah, Origin of Obedience is a little bit of a slow start. We won't lie. Chapter 57, Origin of Obedience Part 2. The bridge that inspired the Yasahachi Bridge is known as an infamous suicide spot, but it also appears in a horror short story written by Akiyama Hirayama-san. In that story, if you looked from the bottom up instead of from the top down, bad stuff would happen. Sorry, my details are a little hazy. I made it with that in mind. What was the name of that story again? Was it part of the Cho Kawaii Hanashi anthology series? Gege started tapping out at the end of these at the end of these commentaries. He was like, all right, I'm almost done. What can I say to get this shit done and send this off? I'm done. I'm tired. You guys remember this? Chapter 58. I wanted to try doing a really outrageous surprise punchline, which was Eso. I like the hook to this chapter. Yep, we want to talk about that. Literally, that's his only sentence on chapter 58. Chapter 59. Itadori pulled ahead of the pack with Black Flash, which made me go, what to do with the other two? I can't give Megami Black Flash, so I gave him a domain instead. I kind of like the flashback with Gojo in the baseball game. Damn, I love how, like, Gege literally gave Megami his domain off a whim. He's like, you know what? I gotta give the other trio their due. But Megami can't have the same thing. Give Megami a domain. And then he was like, oh, perfect. Gojo in the baseball game. Chapter 59. I was a fan of how the way Sukuna says good is here, like the gold screen transition to Pachinko. So Mickey's classmate was tough and cute. Eso is starting to get into the swing of things around this chapter. Again. What's up, Krobin? Chapter 60. Things have finally started to heat up in this arc. So slow. Since things in this chapter might have been difficult to understand, I'll explain. Eso's blood has properties that melt objects like acid, so he can allow his blood to enter his one body just by throwing it at someone. Kechuju's blood can't melt things, so it must be let in through the eyes, mouth, or a wound. On top of that, Kechizu activates decay. Regardless of whether the blood the victim takes in is from Kechizu or Eso, decay goes into motion. I remember having a hard time nailing down the narration talking about Noritoshi Kamo. Kukusaki at the hook of the chapter was looking nice and nasty. Okay. Welcome to the Jogo Gang, Prodigy. Thanks for becoming a member. Appreciate the love. Thank you, thank you. And we have the iconic Black Flash here. Chapter 61. Personally speaking, I think this is Jujutsu Kaisen's best bout. I felt satisfied that not only was I able to make both Kugasaki and Itadori stand out, but I was also able to work the Death Painting brothers dynamic as well. Kugasaki at the hook of the chapter was looking nice and nasty. 2 bold and 2 exclamation points. Why is it only donate 1 to 5 members? That's how YouTube scams you. No other explanation other than that. That's how YouTube gets you to fucking donate. Chapter 62. The best bout's second half. Kukasagi's curse technique isn't very straightforward, so it's a treat when it lands. I really like the title page. Chapter 63, Accomplices. True to the title Accomplices, this chapter felt subdued due to the 2 accomplices in question feeling complicit in committing murder, but it really was a chapter that I liked. Who is writing this story? It certainly isn't Gege. I know by the way he's talking about it. And chapter 64, the very last commentary on in the book, unfortunately. Chapter 64, it's like that. Wow, this is that one specific moment. We did get to this point. We get to talk about this. Chapter 64, it's like that. The last happy moment in the series, the last palate cleanser. As long as Sukuna is not cooperating, he'll need to be assigned more dangerous missions in order to increase the likelihood of encountering fingers. That's why Yuji will aim to be a grade 1 sorcerer. Toto explained this as part of the guidelines that Gojo should have stated at the end of the juvenile detention arc. This was a seriously big mistake on Akutami's part. Having that alone would have given you a totally different reading experience. I'm very sorry for that. A long time ago, my editor told me that he wanted a part where the protagonist was popular. So I came up with this chapter figuring, okay, I guess we need a palette cleanser after the death painting arc. As I was drawing, I was reminded how Kukusaki is the easiest to maneuver of the three in terms of her dialogue. She's the hardest in terms of action. Itadori may seem like a good guy since he was attracted to Ozawa's inherent good qualities instead of her looks, but seeing how Ozawa's good qualities might be thanks to the environment she grew up in, I don't necessarily think that Itadori's viewpoint is correct. I'm glad that I managed to make Fushiguro gossiping about love funny. The anime gaslit me into thinking it's like that came after Hidden Inventory. Nope, funny enough, actually no. And that is the very last one. That's it. I'm looking at this next page here, seeing if there's anything reasonable on it. Looks like Akutami knew a lot of editors when he was knew a lot of people that turned into animators in elementary school. He's got respect for a lot of directors, love people who try to make movies out of anime. There's something that draws me to people who, instead of trying to make anime out of anime, try to make movies out of anime. I have nothing but respect for their stances regarding anime, just as another form of expression. Out of all robot anime, the ones that I rewatch the most are Eva, Code Geass. Let's go, Code Geass is peak. I knew Gege was fucking based. And Eureka 7. As I mentioned earlier, Director Ano's editing is so good that I can watch Eva over and over. As for Eureka and Geass, they're works that I grew up on. That's how I knew me and Gege are like-minded. Code Geass is peak fiction, and if you haven't watched Code Geass, watch that shit right now. Code Geass is my #1 anime, and it will always be the #1 anime. I have to watch Neon Genesis Evangelion. I'm slacking on that, I know for a fact. But I will tell you, Code Geass is my #2 behind Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan and Code Geass are my favorite anime of all time, and Code Geass is the shit. Yes, I've seen the Ratatouille memes. Those are so funny. The Ratatouille memes are fucking hysterical. All right, guys, and that's Akutami's chapter commentary. The last of the book is an interview with Taikubo, some of his color chapter pages. Oh, here we go. Here's the chapter pages that he mentioned. The last segment of the book that I didn't go over was the world of Jujutsu Kaisen, which is just deliberately going over specific things like curses, seals, what are talismans, what's an exorcism, and it really just defines the very specifics. It goes into... Oh wow, it actually goes into a lot of the clans. The Zenin clans, the Kamo clans, the Gojo clans. It goes into Tengen. Okay, all right, I lied to you. We might actually do one more stream of this. Because some of this information might actually be interesting. It just goes into depth into the Jujutsu world that, again, we clearly don't get in the actual Jujutsu Kaisen manga. So it may be, some of this information might be really interesting. So we might do one more Saturday of the official character guide. We have sincerely almost completely covered everything in this data book, guys. So I thank you so much for being here with me, going over a lot of this stuff. There's so much cool information in this book, and I'm glad I got to share it with all of you guys. Yeah, like I said, I will kind of peek through some of this and see if it's worth it or not. I don't want to start a stream and then have nothing to talk about on stream, but there's a lot of stuff that goes through it. Who wins, Kern, Maki, or Toji? I need to know what you think. Is it a stomp or a close fight or what? Oh, didn't want this to end. I mean, Toji versus Maki is very equal, very close together. If I was to say who should win, I guess it depends on who has the better weapons. Does Toji have his hidden inventory? Toji's also more experienced. I don't like to pick a winner. I think that'd be just a draw. We do need a second character book for sure. Thank you, Mario Busters, for the gifted membership. I just saw that. Thank you, thank you. Damn. I don't know what is going on with this gifted membership debacle. I don't know, man. It's got to be rigged or something. It's got to be rigged or something. But anyway, thank you all so much for hanging out with me. I sincerely appreciate it. Hit that like button if you haven't already. It really helps the channel a lot more than you know. The last chance of the gifted membership. Thank you, China Doll. Genobot gets it. I don't even think Genobot's watching right now, unless he's lurking. Lurking with the spicy nugs. Which shows they're actively avoiding. They're actively avoiding certain people. I swear. Oh no, Genobot's right there. I just saw him. I'm sorry, Genobot. You're right there. I see you. I mean, Genobot does deserve the gifted sub. Let's be honest, right? He deserves the gifted membership. But yeah, Crimson Titan. I don't know what you're going on. I don't know what's going on with you. Genobot's an OG though. Genobot's been around since the beginning. Genobot tried to make that sentence. He said we boned over a spicy nug. Oh, that you couldn't have made that more perfect. Julius, thank you for the gifted member, and it goes to Just for Universe, another major community member. See you all the time. So I again can't say anything bad about that, but Crimson Titan just can't catch a break. I swear to God. So I went to the disco. I did indeed go to the disco. It was a fun time. It was a fun time indeed. The missus had fun, and that's all that matters. That 1MF, what's up? Why do I have a Best Buy shirt? Giving them free fucking funding. I used to work at Best Buy, so that's why. It's just at this point, this is just a casual wear shirt, you know. I used to work at Best Buy. I was working at Best Buy during COVID. I've been working at Best Buy since like 19. I worked at Best Buy for 5, 6 years, 7 years. Long time. I was a shift leader before I quit. That's what I was doing part-time while I was working here. I was a shift leader at Best Buy. It's awesome you got a discount. The Best Buy discount is trash, bro. Although, buying wires was great. The discount on wires, beautiful. I don't work there anymore, though. We're doing good, that one MF. We're about to end stream, sadly, unfortunately. We read through all the chapter commentary, which I'm happy we got through all of it this stream. Ayo! Happy early birthday, Vex. Better than Amazon, for sure, yeah. For 100%. Very true, very true. If any of you guys are interested, and you want to know what I'm up to, I am currently... Well, also, actually, I'll tell you, none of you guys noticed, I got more lights. I got an extra little light strip that adds a little bit more decor, a little bit more light to the room, you know, keep things a little bit spicy. I'm gonna get a frame for that door, and then pretty much everything will be complete. Oh, I have lights that are supposed to light those up. I just keep forgetting to turn those on. But I do have lights now for my shelves as well. Hold on. Where's the... Hold on. Let me blow you guys away right now. Hold on. Well. Now we're lit, baby. The lights have been hypnotizing me. I love the lights. You want to know what I don't like? You know what I don't like? So there's one more. There was supposed to be one more light that went on there. And I don't know if you guys have peeped it yet. Scratch on my wall here right now. I don't know, you guys should be able to hear me. This was supposed to go here and complete the whole trifecta, you know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, the electric, the connector, the thing that carries the electronic circuit between all the lights was broken. So I had to take it off the wall. And these wall stickers, I don't know if any of you guys have tried putting things on your wall with stickers. That adhesive tape be strong. Sometimes the drywall comes right off with it. So now I'm annoyed because there's a big drywall hole in the wall, but it's okay. You know, shit happens. Hey, what's up, Jesse? How far are we getting into the book? We pretty much finished the chapter commentary. I'm gonna read through chapter 2, which is just term settings, which honestly we might be able to put another stream into, but other than that, we're pretty much almost done with the book. Reminds me of when I got my LED lights and had to remove them once and the drywall got fucked. Exactly. I was so annoyed. But it's okay. It's fine. You know, we move on. Hopefully, I might have to reach out to Nanoleaf. That's the brand of the things, and see if I can get a new electronic circuit from them. Because they sent me a broken one. So maybe they can send me another one so I can just put the light over top of the scratch. Do I gamble with my last $5 for a dono? No. Save it for some chicken nuggies or something, bro. Don't gamble with your last 5. Never gamble with your last 5. Gamble with your first 5, never your last 5. RM said they're heading south. Went to a lurker. They even tried. Listen, the lurkers are the unsung heroes, okay? The lurkers keep the streams alive. Don't knock the lurkers. Ain't nothing wrong with the lurkers. Just know if you're a lurker, I support you. You don't gotta chat for me to support you. I support everyone equally. 110%. The lurkers are the backbone of the community. The unsung heroes completely. They deserve it just as much as anyone else does. What if I'm feeling lucky? The important thing isn't if you're feeling lucky. The important thing is if Crimson Titan is feeling lucky. And he has not had that Hikari energy all day. Prodigy gifted a membership. Thank you for the gifted membership. Did not go to Crimson Titan. I have to be honest with you. I have to be completely and totally transparent with you. Just also because of the comedy that's in it, right? In total, we have gotten 49 new members this stream. Not a single one of them has been Crimson Titan. I just gotta be completely honest here. Oh, well, now we're at 50. Thank you, China Doll. I appreciate that. Thank you for the gifted membership. Thank you for all the support and the love. Especially from you, of all people. You have been big buck dono. Same with Loud Gaming. Thank you all so much. As always, you know I love you. Yeah. Still no Crimson Titan. I think we should stop donating. As trust me, as much as I appreciate it, I think we should stop donating in hopes Crimson Titan might get a membership, because I don't know if it's gonna happen or not. Needs to make a new account and just watch there, to be honest. You might have a better shot, to be completely honest with you. You might have a better shot. If everyone left and I don't know Crimson would be the only one here, I don't know if it works like that, because I'm pretty sure I've even seen people show up in Manga Mondays that have been like, I haven't been to the stream in months. How did I get gifted a membership? You guys see that too, right? You see it in the Manga Mondays. You see all the people that show up there like, how did I get gifted a membership? I really don't even watch the stream. Like, it happens. I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. Crimson Titan's having a meltdown. I know. I know it's a joke. But this is actually hysterical. Every time I lose my membership, I regain it instantly. I am the Hikari. I am luck itself. Crimson Titan. What you should probably do is watch my entire video, YouTube career. Put every upload I've ever done on repeat, and then maybe all the combined watch hours will result in you getting a gifted membership. I don't know what to tell you. I literally don't know what to tell you other than that. But just know we appreciate you. Even though you don't have the green text, just know Crimson Titan, I see you all the time in chat. Just know, I see you. I see your support always. And that's all that matters to me. Whether you're green, gray, blue, I see it. Don't think I don't. And yes, like Prodigy said, suffering builds character. We learned from Gege Akutami himself. Just think about how strong you'll be. Training arc? Pfft, who needs a training arc, you know? Geto Suguru. I see you. I see everybody. That gym montage is gonna be crazy. Yo, I've been staying strong, bro. I think I'm at, hold on. Let me watch the most recent video from this morning. I don't know what numbers I'm at. I'm so far behind.
Day whatever, 675 squats, 140 or 120. I don't know, something.
That literally, I'm telling you, every day I've been at it. every day. You don't believe me? I got the proof. I got the proof. Look at this. Look at the forum. There it is. Look at the squat. Boom. I got the proof. I can't post it on Discord because the videos are too big, but I swear to God, I've been doing them every damn day. Why not make those into shorts? Because they're like 3 minutes long. I wish I could bust out 25 squats and 10 push-ups in 60 seconds. I don't know what kind of exercises you be doing, but let me know. Let me know. Teach me your ways. But yes, I've been doing every day as much as I can, and it's been great. I feel good. It's been good. Speeding it up 2 times speed. Yeah, you're probably right. I probably could do that, but I don't know if I can do that for my phone editing. And the moment I start uploading my workout morning videos to Google Drive to download them onto Vegas to speed them up and put is the day that I'm trying too hard to prove my worth to people. You just gotta take me on my word that I'm doing them. I promise. I'm catching up. We're getting through them. We're almost done with the push-ups. I'm gonna keep doing them. I'm gonna keep doing the push-ups even though I'm done because I'm gonna keep exercising you after I finish the numbers. You want to know why I'm doing this? You want to know why I'm doing this? Can I be completely honest with you why I'm doing this? Let me tell you right now. Shin Megami Tensei Vengeance. June 14th, 2024. If you don't think we're 24 hours streaming this game, you're out of your mind. You're out of your mind. I'm playing this game all day, every day. I'm not working anything. So you bet your ass I need to be caught up. Because your boy's gonna need to be doing some exercises to be playing this game on stream all day. That's all I'm saying. The next subathon is coming, baby. The next subathon is coming, baby. But yeah. Yeah, I love Shin Megami Tensei, one of my favorite games in the world. I loved Shin Megami Tensei, the original game. I played it on Switch, and it was awesome. So I'm so excited for Vengeance to come out. You know what? Atlas can take all of my money. I don't care how many DLCs and rebrands they sell. They can take all my money. It's fine. It's okay. I'll play every single game. I'll play every single game. Thank you, Mario Busters, for the gifted membership. Still not. Yeah, swing and a miss. There goes the last $5 down the drain. Guess Mario Busters ain't eating tonight. I hope that's not the case. I hope that's a joke. Mario Busters, come hang out with me. I'll feed you. Whew. All right, guys. I think we're gonna call it. Looks like Jogo wins the domain clash against Cursed Naoya. I hope that would be the case. Hey, China Doll's birthday is coming up. Happy birthday. Happy belated birthday. China Doll, what's the 6th? We'll do a little China Doll birthday celebration the night of leaks. Because we'll probably carry over into 12 a.m. Ayo, let's go. I don't know if you got anything planned, so I don't know if you'll be here for leaks, but we'll be celebrating your birthday. You're damn right. Wouldn't miss it for the world. All right, guys. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and call it. Definitely gonna go ahead and call it. I think next Saturday we are probably gonna take a break from the chapter commentary on the data book. We're gonna do some viewer call-ins, I think, next Saturday. Or, you know, don't take my word on that, because I'm gonna try. We're gonna hit everyone up that got selected. We got, I think, 5 debates that we picked out, or at least I picked out. I shouldn't say we. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick that out. And then what we will do. We're gonna have some awesome conversations. I'm excited for them. I hope you guys are also excited for them. Thank you guys for sitting through me going through all these chapter commentaries and the character commentaries. They were a lot of fun. I enjoyed learning so much about Jujutsu Kaisen that we definitely would not have learned without reading this. So anyway, guys, thank you all so much as always. Thank you all to everyone who donated and tried to show some support. I sincerely appreciate your love always. Thank you all for being here and hanging out with me. These are some of the fun streams we always have. And I will see you guys all in the next one. Manga Monday members, we got 51 new members. Crazy. Manga Monday, Hisoka vs. Crollo. I can't wait. I'm so excited. I have been waiting for this for so long. Manga Monday, baby. Be there or be square. And if not, I will see you guys on Wednesday for chapter 262 reaction. Love you all so much. Have a great rest of your night, day, afternoon, whatever time it is for you. I love you. I appreciate you. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace, 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 peace.